Yo, welcome back to a brand new episode of The Art of Affiliate Management. We are here in Sigma, Dubai at the Revpanda booth, the award-winning traffic powerhouse. Not sure if you can see that as well. And we are here with Emre, one of the founders and CEO.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thanks for taking time and thanks for Farooq for putting this together. They are really one, maybe even the leaders of the agencies in the industries when it comes to optimize affiliate programs, the offers, the workflows, and so on. They do way more than just this. And we speak a little bit about what are the services that they are providing, how they are helping the programs, how they are improving the offers, what are challenges that they are seeing. So Emre, thanks again for taking this busy hour's time to speak to us. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, hi everyone, and thank you one more time for having me. I am the founder and CEO of Revpanda Group. We are a traffic powerhouse. We help advertisers acquire traffic, but not only help them acquire traffic, we also assist with the retention and take care after the users in case they need our services. So Revpanda is a two-division company. One is the media part, more traffic related, and the other one is the agency part, which is more on the agency services.
Okay, so let's speak about the services that you are providing to make programs and offers better. What are there the things that you provide? And we will speak then also what makes there a good solution and what makes a bad solution and what to outsource and maybe what people can solve inside.
Yes, I mean, we are a large agency. We have about 105 people in-house and we have about 250 contractors that we work with. So the most popular service that we have is the localization. SEO as a service. We help brands get direct traffic via Google search to their own brand. We help with brand reputation management. We help with testing services. We have domain accessibility checkers. We also have some software to help the advertisers to get the most of their users. But I believe as of 2025, the most popular services are the localization, SEO, and brand reputation management.
Okay, so the ones that are the most relevant for this audience are definitely localization and brand management.
Okay.
Let's start with localization because this is always an issue. It's also an issue in our company at Masters in Cash.
Yes.
What are the biggest problems that you see from your clients that they are facing with localization?
Yes. I see that one of the major problem is that the AI and the machine translation. I'm a fan of AI and technologies being advanced and all that. However, what I see with the clients is that they are investing millions to their projects, but when it comes to localization, they go the way of either AIing it or machine translating it. And what I see is that there was a Turkish client of ours who just launched their sites and they're making big investments. And I see two buttons. So usually what you have is the register button and you have the login button in Turkish. And they had register and register. Because, you know, and they're making money, that's all right. They're making revenues because people eventually figure out, but you could make more. And amount you would pay for an agency would be so small compared to what you are paying to advertisers or to affiliates and so on to promote your product. But when it comes to the end user, you want to save pennies to not to pay to an agency or to some professional and go the way of AI. I think AI may be ready for some languages, but it's definitely not ready for some industries plus some languages too. So I think one of the biggest challenges is that the brands are relying so much on AI and so much on machine translation. And then after they start working with us, they see the impact that we are making with right localization, not only translation, right localization, that actually they see either better revenues or better conversions or better retention rates just by localizing it well.
So with localizing, you are meaning not only to change, to translate it,
Yes.
but really adapt it
Adapt.
to the market. As you are from Turkey originally,
Yes.
where you are based now, by the way?
I'm based in Riga now. We have an office in Malta and we have a big operational power from Turkey. But I have studied linguistics myself, so I have also academical knowledge on the localization sector and the things of localization.
Of course.
I speak myself Turkish, English, Russian. I speak a little bit German as well, so I can relate, I think, well and a bit better than any other people who don't speak any other foreign languages, how localization should be.
So when we speak now about a client like the Turkish one, that used AI to translate it, and it spits out even the same button text. Most probably the text was different, otherwise they
Yes, of
most
course.
probably log in and get in your account or something like this. But what are other mistakes that you saw there where you say, okay, maybe the wording is not even that bad,
Yes.
but it's not fitting the Turkish culture?
Yeah, 100%. Also, the colors, the
The
overall,
colors.
yeah, colors. I mean, for Japanese culture, for example, for Japan is a big thing. What kind of colors you use? I was there recently, and I see that they have a full-on different concept of UX and UI, and how things are designed and developed. So you need to apply this only to the texts, but to your product overall, if you want to succeed. Obviously, it depends a lot on the industry you are in, and but in competitive industries like ours, iGaming or dating, I think. It's very important to make adapt the entire product, not only the texts. And what I see as another problem is the testing. So you may be sending to a translation agency the text that you want to have, and they translate it, but they've never seen it where it's going to be placed at. And what we see is that we urge our partners to send us the final version of how it's going to work, look on the product end. However, what we see is that the concept is too different than on Excel sheet. Then we suggest changes too. Then we need to see the full picture. So we are now preferring more to work with visuals and what's the product is, what's the idea of that localization to make the most of it. So aside the ChatGPT and the machine translation, I think post-edit and post-checks, post-testing is quite vital as well, together with the entire adapting the product parts.
So you are very well known for this. Many companies are using that services that you provide. So one question that will help other people that are providing services like we do with the recruitment is how you convince or how you convinced your first partners to hand over the localization to you, because they are maybe printing money with a very bad translation and they say, what do you want from me? If we do it, and how you bring like a proof of concept that it is like a working thing to before you had this this brand that well known.
Yes, good question. So the beginning phase was difficult. It was tough to enter the market.
How long you do it now?
So Revpanda is 5 years old now. This is our
Okay.
fifth year. But we had, in my opinion, a great growth within the last 5 years. We work with all the key players of the gaming industry, from stock-listed companies to startups. And I think that there was a lacking on industry knowledge because you have terminologies. And not many translators know these terminologies, so that it needs to be done by someone who knows the industry well. And we know the industry well. So that's one. Two is that some clients may be coming to us directly, but let's say we are in our day one, nobody knows us. We go to them, we show them, guys, you make mistakes here. Because we have experts, show it to your team. They have to agree with this. This is a mistake. You know, it's one way, it's just a mistake. And once they see that more errors coming in, and they give us a chance that they can see better numbers with our campaigns, even though it's 1% increase, it's equals to quite a large amount of money in our industry. So that 1% is very vital. That one word can bring that 1%. And that's what we are after. And if we can show to our partners that we do that, we did that, we can show some case studies, and we can display those errors that we can find on site, then we can invite them for translation audit, which they can share more things with us, because they usually have the marketing funnels like emails, which we don't have access to, and we even see more mistakes on the emails because they are not usually visible by the testers or by the product owners. It's only visible to the end user. And I believe if we can get our clients to the level that where they can share a bit more with us, in most of the cases, if they are not working with a professional translation agency, if they are relying on AI or machine translation or Fiverr or freelancers, they usually find out that it doesn't work. It's not a good quality.
So for me, it was now a bit funny to hear what you were saying, like, hey, somebody has to know the right terminology. Because before we started this, we had like a 10-minute catch-up about what are the terminologies that we are using. and I consider both of us really professional, but even there were some words that are for us different. So it's really well invested money to go to somebody that understands it and not grab some random guy from Fiverr.
Yes.
We see the same when we are having, for example, localizations on our products, and we go for somebody from Fiverr. We did that before. Often they use AI because who shall check it? That's one thing. The other problem is they are not knowing the market, and if they even know their market, let's say they would be heavy into iGaming themselves and they spend the money you pay them themselves at the slot machine later on, they don't understand how to translate it in a marketing speech.
Correct.
So translating this call to actions is maybe even a bigger problem than having one word done proper or not.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely.
So how easy is it for you to find like people that are doing this kind of work, and how you assure that somebody that does this, okay, what flag we have here that is maybe a bit odd, Norwegian or Finnish, super complicated. So how you find somebody that is understanding this market, does the translation wrong, and you can assure that this person is not using AI and tricking you as a contractor?
Yes, I mean we have teams. We have a good structure. As a company, the more we grow, we are going the ways of we're focusing more on organization, and we try to make sure that we provide the best quality ever. So at Revpanda, we actually have for every major language that we provide services with, we have a content lead, which is native person, not a contractor, full-time employee. And the majority of languages, we have a lot of languages, we have about 70 languages, but we do operate actively on about 30 languages a month. So we have a very large content operation. And this brings us to the power to not to work with contractors actually, so that we are actually working with the people who provide full commitment to Revpanda and to client projects as well. So there are projects assigned. If we have a client, we know that what language we have used before, because languages like German, you have formal and informal speech, and sometimes a brand may be using a formal, and if you change the contractor, then maybe he wants to use informal language, and then they start having inconsistency. There is a new concept of a product, that's for sure. I don't know whether it will be successful or not, but a new generation coming up, and they are thinking a bit different in my opinion. I see the ones that innovate will be the ones that are standing out as well.
Is this also part of your services, that you help them with these innovations and implementing them?
100%, of course. I mean, we have a large team. We are a 360 agency. So as I mentioned, the site acquisition part, we have our own SEO assets. So we need to understand the user very well so that we can send the actual traffic to advertiser. And we have developers, designers, testers, content writers, QA testers, product owners. And the team needs to understand the concept, but most importantly, needs to understand the user very well. And for you to understand the user, you need to know what they like, what they don't like, what they are looking after. So this we have a lot of practices at Revpanda for empowering our team and growing them as well as together with industry, so that the team plays the vital role. At the end, it's the people business. And in my opinion, it is very important to follow these trends and change accordingly, even though it's difficult, because I understand that, especially with older companies, you have flows, you have the amount of people, you're a big corporate, and it's very difficult to move. But I believe in the future, if you are too slow to take an action, it will be very dangerous for the company to either get lost or lose that trend, lose that clientele. So we try to emphasize as much as possible the demand from the user and the direction our clients are going, and we try to do as much as possible to support them with it.
So, what are trends then that you are seeing within the products that the users are demanding, and are there cultural differences that are so significant, or are there more like worldwide trends?
I mean, 100% the cultural differences play a vital role, but we go market by market. So what works on the Norwegian market may not be working on the German market. And we first try to tackle that one to understand the local user, what they prefer, and whatever is coming next. So what's interesting as an example, because there are so many things coming now, and we don't know what will stick. So as the technology advances with the help of AI, it's very easy now to produce things, and a lot of things are being produced. We are going a lot more faster than we were 5 to 10 years ago. So a lot of ideas come to reality. What I know is that the Telegram is going into direction of becoming a universe itself, as they have launched apps section, which you can buy eSIMs, you can buy trade, you can do anything. I think things like this we'll see more, and I believe Telegram for me in the last 6 months have been a question of this is happening, that's happening. New types of games are coming out, especially for our industry. Other than that, the crypto and Web3 overall coming in. I bought myself a VR set first time this year, and I know that it's been a buzz for the last 10 years, but I was honestly impressed by how much you can do with VR or AR. And I believe if more people start using it, I'm sure that there will be some universes over there as well with VR and AR. So these are the things that I am seeing myself, which are very, very various. Before, how it was, Stefan, is that you had a crypto, it was crypto coming on, and now AI coming, VR coming, AI coming, many things are coming at the same time, and it's difficult or overwhelming for some to adopt, in my opinion. I don't know what's your take on that.
Are they? I can tell you how it is in dating after that, but the people that are implementing all this stuff that come with the VR ideas, with the AI ideas that implemented in Telegram, are this practically the same old players that move fast, or is this really like a startup in most cases that can act super fast, or how
I see there are big companies are doing both all angles. I know that there are players like that exist. They do the traditional way, they do the VR, they do the AR, they do the Telegram. And there are as well startups that focuses on one angle, and they are being successful with it too. So I think it's more of a game of resources and innovators, what kind of leaders behind the business, and if they can operate it, because it's tough. It's a tough job to operate that all angles and build that development, introduce to markets. So I think to answer your question, it is a bit of everything. Depends on who is behind the project. It can be a startup. It can be as well the big players too. Even with quantum computing, if you take a look at it now, Microsoft made a massive innovation. However, there are also 3 to 4 big quantum computing startups that are doing quite okay. If you take a look at their stock market, there was one, I think, that 1,100% increase in last 6 months.
I think it was even called quantum.
Yeah. And you see, there is Microsoft, which is a giant, and there is a start of quantum computing too. So as it is on other industries, it is as well the same for this industry.
The companies that come with all the innovations are usually complete different brands, but they are funded and co-owned by players that are on the market. So they provide the money and they are providing some contacts. And then it's on an individual team to develop stuff that is often given out even to the competitors. Because everybody is working on this kind of stuff anyway. So the people are going for the best solution. So yeah, this is a bit how they are handling it. And it's like a very dynamic market. So one question I have about the change of the marketing of the affiliate programs itself. Not what they are doing to have the users or to acquire users, really about what they are doing to find affiliates, how they present themselves. In these 5 years that you are here, you saw for sure a massive shift.
Yes, yes, yes.
What are the biggest things that you changed, and what are your predictions for the future? What programs have to do to keep the affiliate happy? 90% of the people on the booth were like extremely beautiful girls.
Yes.
But it was not that 90% of them were like extremely talented affiliate managers.
No, no, no. Yes.
So it was really like this. You go there and you cannot give these girls like a hard time for not working.
Yes.
They stop everybody and says like, look dude, are you an affiliate?
Yes, yes.
And when you said like, okay, what you are doing, they call somebody that is like some
Yes, that's
ugly
correct.
dude or so
They
that
do
is
that.
explaining
Yeah,
that.
it's been around. I mean, we are in Dubai now. Currently, you don't see any alcohol, but obviously drinking and partying.
In other conferences, it's Emre, last final words about with you for the golden nugget, the final advice you can give to the listeners out there that also want to build a dominating brand in whatever industry they are.
I think it's all at the end the people. I believe it can be a corporate companies, giant stock exchange companies, and then behind these, they all are people, and it's important to create relationships that are not only focusing on the numbers and the financials, but also consider it to be a human, personal relationships, because numbers can go up, they can go down, and they can come back up again. If you have the right relationship, right contacts, right network, and if you have the knowledge, you can always make it back. You can always make the numbers go back up. However, if you are just focusing on the numbers and focus on making money, it can be a bit more tricky. You can be successful at the short period, but I think in the long run, it's maybe a bit problematic to have it. So my golden nugget would be the relationship, focus on the human relationships, see, adapt with the technology, because it's changing a lot. SEO is not the same thing how it was last 10 years ago. Now it's more competitive. And don't forget, I was saying it's more competitive 5 years ago as well. So it will always be competitive. And it's important to change, shift, be dynamic, and make sure that we have time and use it efficiently. I think that would be it.
Okay.
All right.
Man, thank you to take time at these busy times.
Thank you.
The details of you to contact you are in the description, and see you on the next conference where the beautiful girls are, and hopefully also the educated affiliate managers.
Thank you very much.
You.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. All right.